Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, Wooden Railway Adventures, Episode 3, The Flying Scotsman Departs. Unfortunately, the Flying Scotsman had to depart someday when he came to the island of Sodor, and for most of the engines, the day came too quickly. At that day, all the engines crowded into the yard to see him leave. Even some road vehicles came. All the engines were sad to see him go. "We're going to miss you," said Edward. "Okay," said the Flying Scotsman. "Just remember, I'll return." "Okay," said Thomas. But the person that was going to miss him more than anybody else was Gordon. "I'm going to miss you, brother," he said. "I don't know what I'll do without you. How I'll keep Bill and Ben out of the trouble and stuff." "Oh," said the Flying Scotsman. "I know you'll find a way, brother," he said. "Oh, thanks," said Gordon. Sir Topham Hatt had also came to the yard to see him go. "The Flying Scotsman, you have made the island of Sodor a better place." "Thank you, sir," said the Flying Scotsman. "Everybody on Sodor is going to miss you terribly." "Yeah," said Thomas. "We're going to miss you a lot." "Don't worry," said the Flying Scotsman. "I'll come back sometime." "Oh, but to some engines," said Edward, "sometime won't come soon enough." "Exactly," said the Flying Scotsman. "But don't worry, I'll return." "Okay," said the engines. "Well, it looks like it's time for me to go." All the engines were sad to see him go. The engines who hadn't appreciated him at first, such as Wilbur, Frank, Emily, and Spencer, had apologized for their behavior, and now all the engines on Sodor knew how important the Flying Scotsman was. Even the trucks were sad to see him go. "Wow," said Scruffy, "he taught us a really good lesson at that day when he bumped into us and made us look very silly." "Yeah," said all the trucks, so they were even sad to see him go. "Oh well," said the Flying Scotsman, "just remember, I'll return." "Okay," said the engines, but they were all very sad to see him go. "It looks like it's my time to leave," he said. All the engines were sad. "Goodbye," they said. "Goodbye," he said. As he puffed out of the yard, all the engines whistled, and for the diesels, they honked their horns as he left the yard. "Goodbye," he said, "and remember, I'll return to the island of Sodor." "Okay, everybody," and he left the yard. Some engines, however, greeted him as he left the yard, such as Salty, Duke, Duncan, and Derek. But otherwise, the Flying Scotsman was all alone on his travels. He said, "My visit to the island of Sodor was really great," he said. But I'm glad to go home, too. Man, the island of Sodor was such a fun place. But I'm missing my work. Anyway, he called out to the engines, "Just remember, I'll be back," and they knew he would. And so the Flying Scotsman set into the sunset as he puffed out of the island.